Hi, well, today I am doing what is called summer sauce. That's what my sister calls it. I thought that she invented this recipe, but actually she's not sure if she has. And I know that there's a recipe that's very similar that is from Naples, Italy. This is a Southern Italian dish, so we're talking garlic, fresh ripe tomatoes from the vine, and some simple herbs. All I'm using today is basil and some parsley, red hot pepper, crushed red pepper I should say. I have some salt and a really good quality first press virgin olive oil, extra virgin actually. This is a Spanish olive oil, but what you want is something that's very green, very dark, that has a lot of flavor. You can also do Romano cheese, but this is so flavorful that personally, I don't think you need anything. You don't need cheese. So in the time that this gets done, gets made, your pasta is still cooking. So I'm going to drop the pasta and I'll be back to show you how to put this together. What you want to do is salt your pasta until it tastes like seawater. I only filled this pot about halfway because I'm using 10 ounces of linguine, and that is 300 grams. And get these little bits in here. What I do is every dry pasta seems to say you should go between 9 and 11 minutes. So I put my timer on, which I didn't do. I put my timer on for 9 minutes and then taste it, because you do want this to be al dente. It just goes with the whole sauce that we're about to make. You can take the lid off, let that go, give it an occasional stir, and now let's go back to the food processor. So for your mise en place, I have some parsley here. Save these stems, put it in your stock bag. And if you don't know what a stock bag is, let me know and I will show you. There's my parsley, and I'm just going to strip these basil leaves, and they smell so good. This might be a little too much for what I'm using. This is a 13.5 ounce tomato. It's 376 grams. You can use any variety of tomato that you want for this. You can use a cherry stone, that's a clam, sorry. You can use a cherry tomato, the grape tomatoes. The important thing here is that they're vine ripe and just bursting with flavor. It's hard to tell you exactly how much of something to use when you're using produce, because it's going to be different. So let me get started with these herbs. I'm just putting, just as you can see, very roughly putting my little mat of basil down, and now I'm just going to put the parsley inside of that and sort of kind of roll everything up together and then slice across. You can make this as big or as little as you like. I'm going to give it just another rough chop through. For the garlic, and by the way, you can make this in a blender, and you could probably get away with using an inversion blender as well. But I'm going to start with this turned on, the blade's running. Now you drop your garlic. That's just the fastest way and the most thorough way to chop garlic in a processor. It really does a good job that way. Okay, here we go. So I was visiting my sister, and she invited one of her neighbors over to dinner. And the neighbor said, okay, well, I'll come, but are you making your summer sauce? It's just that flavorful. People love it. I'm going to save a little piece off to the side, and I'm going to put that in after this gets pulverized, because I want two different textures. Anytime that you have a pervasive vegetable or fruit, you want to have some of it chopped up very, very fine and some of it a little chunkier. That way people really know what you're doing, what's in there, and having that variety of textures really makes a difference. So, a little salt. I'm using half a teaspoon of crushed pepper, and just, oh, I forgot my beautiful olive oil. I hope you can appreciate how yellow this is. You know, the further south that you go, the more flavor you get from your olives. So the more flavorful their olive oil is. As you can see, that's really quite saucy. Let me just cut this up. I'm going to give this about 5 seconds. Now you have different sized chunks in there. Just makes for a better sauce. Oops. Now the herbs go in. I'm not depending on the processor to cut the herbs. All that I'm doing now is I'm going to give it one second pulse, and that's just enough to stir all of those ingredients together. And we're done. That's the sauce. Making all of this, putting it all together, took processor time 31 seconds. You gotta love a processor. I think it's my favorite kitchen tool. A little more oil. I think I'll wait and drizzle it over plates. The pasta is done, so I'm going to grab that. Before I drain the pasta, just in case, I don't think I'm going to be deficient in sauce. However, just in case I am, this starchy pasta water is liquid gold. Do not throw that out without saving a little bit of it. I have a little bit of the sauce in the bottom of the bowl. That's my serving bowl, and then I'm going to top it with the pasta and then some more sauce. As far as the starchy water goes, in the past I've cooked dishes where I wanted just a little more sauce, and I've tried using olive oil, wine, chicken broth, water. Nothing works like this pasta water. I'm just going to top it like that. I have a little bit left over. Between bringing it up from the bottom and what I placed on top of this, I think we're good. Extra sauce should be served at the table in case you need a little more. I have to say, this is pretty perfect because you see there's still some wet sauce at the bottom. So I'm not going to need this pasta water after all. Of course, it's your kitchen, you can do what you like, but sauces in Italian are thought of as a condiment. Condimente. So you really don't need much more than this. You just want to gracefully, delicately sauce your pasta. And I have to taste this. It smells so good. So one thing I should tell you too is that today, on day one, my mouth is watering, on day one, this is very tomato basil forward, and tomorrow it's going to be more garlicky. So you want to eat as much of this as you can. I'm going to put a little drizzle of olive oil just to finish, and then let me taste it for you. The fragrance from the olive oil just hit me too. That does taste like summer. The tomato, the basil. This is a home run. It really is. This with some fish or chicken on the grill, you have a beautiful summer dinner. I hope you try this. Let me know if you do. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.